I love a good potato salad, and I have been making it for years, but I find myself either making enough to feed an army or not enough. So what I've come up with is a simple formula, so every time I go to make it, I can get the right amount for how many people I'm feeding. And to top it off, I found a simple method to prepare the potatoes and the eggs using the Instant Pot. Welcome back to Nancy's Homestyle Kitchen, where I share how to cook real food with simple ingredients and no pressure to be perfect. No more need to boil potatoes and eggs on the stove in multiple pots. This is super easy and quick. Let me show you how I make it. The ingredients you're gonna need for the potato salad are russet potatoes, eggs, your favorite dill pickles, olives, celery green onions, mayonnaise, spicy brown mustard, dill weed, celery salt, paprika, pepper, and seasoned salt. Now, I like my potato salad with hard-boiled eggs. So this is how I do it. For every potato, I'm gonna use 1 egg. So for today, I'm making a smaller portion. It's just my husband and I. So I'm just gonna use 4 potatoes and 4 eggs. And for the potatoes, you wanna cut them about 1 inch or so thick. So I'm just gonna make little chunks. If they're less than 1 inch, not that big of a deal. You just don't want it to fall through. Let me show you. There's this rack that goes in the bottom of the Instant Pot. I have about a cup of water in there, and then I'm just gonna lay these potatoes in there. They don't have to be perfectly spaced, because again, if I wanted to do 8 cut up potatoes or 12 potatoes, because I'm making a huge batch of potato salad, I could absolutely do that. So just cut up the potatoes, and then we'll just throw the eggs right on in. So if you have farm fresh eggs, just make sure you wash your eggs really well. I kind of don't trip on store-bought eggs. I've never seen them be dirty. You can wash them though again if you want, but I don't. I just throw them in. Okay, so I'm gonna put the potatoes in here. I'm just trying to spread them around. And then all we do is put the eggs in here. Now these are just fresh or raw eggs. Just throw them in, and we're gonna put the lid on, and we're gonna pressure cook it for 5 minutes. So I almost forgot, check the seal, make sure the little safety valve moves up and down. I know a lot of people are nervous about using a pressure cooker. I've never ever had a problem with it, and to me it is truly a lifesaver. So I'm gonna do manual, high for 5 minutes. That's it. No more boiling potatoes on the stove forever until they're fork tender. I used to boil potatoes for like 30 minutes, taking forever. And then I was doing hard boiled eggs. This will be done in roughly 10 minutes because it takes a few minutes for the Instant Pot to come up to pressure. This is gonna pressure cook now for 5 minutes. When the 5 minutes is up, I will go ahead and let it sit for 5 minutes. Then I will let the steam escape, put the eggs in an ice water bath, and then spread the chunks of potato out so they can cool. And while this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the other ingredients. Okay, first part was easy, 1 potato to 1 egg. Now we start the potato salad math. So whether you want to use dill pickles or if you want to use sweet pickles, what I find is that about 1/3 of a pickle spear equals 1 tablespoon of chopped pickles. And so for every potato and every egg, I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of chopped dill pickles, 1 tablespoon of celery, which is about 1/3 of a stalk, 1/2 tablespoon of green onion, and 1/2 tablespoon of chopped black olives. All of these measurements will be in the description box. So I'm gonna go ahead, and while the potatoes and eggs are processing, I'm gonna get all the veggies chopped and get them into my mixing bowl. This has finished processing and has been sitting here on this natural release cycle for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit cancel on the other side and go ahead and vent and get all of the steam out. As soon as that's done, I'll get everything set on the cooling rack so it can cool while we move on to the next step. There we go, the safety valve dropped. There's hardly any steam coming out, so it is safe to take off the lid and just aim it away from you. And then I'm just gonna remove everything and put it on this cooling rack because I want those potatoes to start cooling quick. The eggs I'm gonna put into a ice water bath, so those will chill. I'm not very confident on just taking out this whole rack because I'm gonna get potatoes dropping down into the water and I don't want them getting soggy. So I'm just trying to get as many out as I can without falling into the water. So here I just made a bowl with some ice and water. Gonna drop these hard-boiled eggs in there so they can cool. We'll just put all of this over to the side. And now we'll go ahead and make the sauce. So for each potato and egg, you need 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, which when you start doing the potato salad math, comes out to 1/2 cup. And just so you can see, I'm gonna use this little measuring cup as my mixing bowl. So you can see everything that's going on here. Okay, and then for every potato, you need a teaspoon of Gulden's spicy brown mustard. Now, I'm pretty confident in just eyeballing what a teaspoon looks like. I think you should kind of do the same. Because if you put this on your teaspoon, it's hard to come off. So I just kind of give it 4 good little squirts. That's it. Then for every potato, you need 1 teaspoon of the pickle juice. Okay, now for all of the spices. Now, as far as the dry spices are concerned, you need 1/8 of a teaspoon for every potato. So again, 4 potatoes times 1/8 is equal to 1/2. So I'm gonna put 1/2 teaspoon of Lawry seasoned salt. I have the low sodium one because I'm also gonna add celery salt, so I don't want it to be overly salty. So 1/2 a teaspoon of celery salt, 1/2 a teaspoon of dill weed, and 1/2 a teaspoon of black pepper. And that is it for the sauce. The paprika I just use to sprinkle on top of the potato salad when it's done as a garnish. And we're almost done. The only thing we need to do is let these potatoes finish cooling. I'll go ahead and crack and peel the eggs, and we will be throwing them into the bowl with all the veggies and the sauce. We're almost there, folks. We'll be back in just a little bit. These potatoes have only been sitting here maybe about 10 minutes. They are warm, but they're not hot at all. I went ahead and peeled the eggs. Now look at how beautiful these hard-boiled eggs are. So if you haven't made hard-boiled eggs in your Instant Pot, I promise you, once you try it, you will not make them any other way. It works absolutely perfect, and the shells peel right off. You don't lose half of your egg whites in the process. It's just perfect. So then all I do is just run all of these through an egg slicer. And I just go kind of one way and then spin it around and do the opposite. Now this may be weird, but my favorite time to eat this potato salad is like right now while the potatoes are still a little warm. I think it's so good, but it is still so good even chilled. I just like kind of that warmth of the potatoes, and I don't know, it's just really good. So then take your potatoes and carefully, okay, so knife police, don't come at me, but I'm using this paring knife to cut these potatoes. This is just the way I've always done it. I can't help it. I don't like getting my cutting board all gummy with potatoes. And these are nice and tender. They're not too mushy or anything. 5 minutes in the Instant Pot. And I used to boil them for like I said, 30 minutes. And then I would have to let them cool. And they would take quite a while to cool. And then I was trying to handle a hot potato while I'm peeling it. And this is just so much easier. I actually came up with this method when we were full-time in our RV, and I didn't have like a lot of big cooking space, and I was trying to make so many things with my Instant Pot, and I'm like, why can't I just do potato salad? And it worked out great. On the topic of the eggs, I have a really good deviled egg recipe. I'll have that video linked for you in the description or one of the end cards. So if you want to see the whole process on using the Instant Pot to make the deviled eggs, that will be there for you. So here we have our potatoes, the eggs, all the veggies, and now we're just going to go in and pour over our sauce. And then just give it a good mix. If some of those potatoes kind of break up, I don't worry about it. I kind of like it when some of them are slightly mashed and some are chunky. And this is one of those instances, like seriously, Nancy, get a bigger spoon. But it's like one of those things, I love cooking with these, so I just use it, but it's probably not the right tool for this job. You can probably hear how creamy this is. And those potatoes will kind of soak up some of that sauce. So it doesn't seem too wet to me now, and it will just be fine. But if you're kind of concerned, just add about 2/3 of your sauce to the potatoes and the vegetables and stir that up first. You can always add more. But I think this ratio for me is perfect. So I purposely used this mixing bowl to do this because I wanted to show you exactly how much this makes. So remember, we started with 4 potatoes, 4 eggs, and we have 4 cups of potato salad. So hopefully that gives you a good reference. Again, I'll have everything listed in the description box. If you want to sub out sweet pickles, you can, and the sweet pickle juice. Just feel free to use the potato salad math as your base as far as your potato to egg ratio with the vegetables. And I think the mayonnaise mixture is right on point, but you can feel free to change up the seasonings or any of the inclusions that you like. The final ingredient, which I think is a must on any potato salad, is the paprika. So I'm just gonna do just a light sprinkle. And here you have it, my potato salad. So let's dig in and give it a try. I'm telling you, slightly warm potato salad is where it's at. And all the rest fit in this container. So now I have a quart of potato salad that's ready for the fridge. I could take it to a picnic. It's great for meal prep for the week, for your lunches or dinners. Again, this is just such a great recipe. I love this formula, so I know exactly how much to make, and I hope you give it a try. Anyway, I'm so glad that you stopped by today. If you like this type of content, please hit the like button, consider subscribing, and I will be back next week with another recipe from my kitchen. Where's the stinking power button? Oh, Okay, and then throw that in the I'm just gonna start getting all the veggies. Dude, you gotta try it. It's so good. It's like seriously my favorite.
That's good.
Isn't it better warm? I mean, it's not warm. It's just not ice cold.
It's not ice cold.
And it's like tender and soft and
That's some good shit right there.
it is.